Hi, I'm Loraine Rushton and welcome to the Kids Yoga Teacher Success Series. And why you need to be here watching this is because we're going to be having successful children's yoga teachers coming in every series to tell you about all their tips of what has worked, what they've done, so that you can do it as well. They're going to be sharing with you tools and tips and guidance to help you on your journey and to inspire you just to keep going, to keep making a difference. So we're so excited to welcome in beautiful Katie here. So Katie, let's just maybe start us off and say hello, tell us who you are, what you're up to, what you're doing.
Okay, hi everybody, my name's Katie and I run Inner Child Yoga from Sydney. Would you like me to explain a bit more about my business?
Yeah.
So, Inner Child Yoga has been going for 5 years now. December just gone, we celebrated 5 years. And we run...
Hooray!
I know, it's so exciting. And we run programs for children aged between 3 and 12. So our 3 to 5 year old programs are run out of early childhood centres. And then our 5 to 12 year old programs are run out of schools. They're also in the out of school hours providers. So we do term time programs and vacation care incursions as well. And we also have programs running at the Try Shine Wellness Yoga Studio in Maroubra. And we do private classes and we do birthday parties.
That's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. Look at how much that business has grown, and all the different places that you work and all the places that you impact and all the children of over 5 years. I'm dying to hear some stories from you. So, I mean, this is you now and this is 5 years on. So if we go back to the beginning of the journey 5 years ago, what was it? What pulled you into doing this? Why did you want to teach children's yoga?
Well, before I had a corporate life and it was great and I loved it. But then I had my son, and I'm sure lots of people will be able to relate to this, that when you have a child, it kind of changes the way that you look at things. And I really just came to this place where I kind of felt like I wanted to do more than the corporate life was going to offer me. So I kind of gave up my nice, secure, well-paid corporate job, said goodbye, and kind of decided I needed to throw myself into something. So I guess whilst my son was young, I was running just a small home-based online business whilst I was kind of deciding what I needed to do. And then the year before he started school, his early childhood centre was asking for people to come in to talk about the jobs that they did. And I didn't really want to do that, but I wanted to contribute something. And I've practiced yoga myself since I was 21 and had done some kind of yoga play with my son. So I thought it'd be fun to go in and just do some of that with the kids at the centre. And I was completely upfront with them. I was like, I've got no idea. I'm completely making this up, but I want to come in and give it a go. What do you reckon? And they were like, yeah, come on in. So we did the first class. Basically, all the children sat on me and kind of got through a class. But like when I came away from it, the kids loved it, and I absolutely loved it. And they knew that I was working from home. So they said to me, do you want to come in and do it again? So I was like, yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of turned into a bit of a weekly thing, completely voluntary. I was making up, like they knew. And then that year in the winter solstice, I was doing a personal practice. And I literally had this moment of clarity where I was like, oh, it's so obvious. I love children. I love yoga. I'm going to make a children's yoga business, and that's what I'm going to do. And so when I came out of that, I was like, raw.
Yeah.
Started investigating where to do my training, and that's where I found you, and that's where I found Zenergy.
I love that. Katie, I've never known that story.
Oh, haven't you? Oh my goodness. That's the short version.
I never knew. And all the courses that I've seen you go through with me, and all of the journey that you've taken, all the years of teaching now and running your business, And I love that you had this aha. I had an aha as well. I was doing that in the same place. I was doing that transition between safe, secure job and loving yoga, and worked as a school teacher. So I loved the kids. I loved, and I had that same ta-da. Okay, this is it. This is what my purpose is. This is what I'm here to do. Okay, so you then thought, okay, this is it. So you came and did the foundation course with me.
Yeah.
Then I think you did. I just think you did.
I've done all of them.
You did all. So you went about, okay, foundation, advanced, then the yoga therapy course. And so how did they help to get you launched?
Oh, so much. I think maybe breaking it down to the different courses. So foundation course, like the word just says it all. It really does give you that foundation. So this is how to structure an engaging class, which is so important. And then this is also how to make it age appropriate, how to change things for the different age groups. And yeah, just this is what it looks like. This is how you do it. This is a structure that you can use time and time again. And then you can fill in with, what you want to teach, because obviously teaching comes, from the heart, comes from the individual. But I think possibly, that was very important. But a massive piece for me was the other part of it, which was the personal development. That really, digging in deep and finding that place where I could believe in myself and believe that I could do it. So it's all very well having an idea, you can have this idea and think it's wonderful, but you've got to actually get out there and do it. And you can't do that. You can have the best product in the world, but you're not going to make your business successful unless you actually get out there to do it. And that takes belief in yourself. So the personal development side was massive on that foundation course. And then when I went on to do the advanced course, I kind of then padded out, okay, this is how you do a class, but this is how you make a program. And for me, where I was coming from within in-charge yoga, I really wanted to be in education. I don't want it to be just moving and enjoying yoga. I want to see progression as the terms go on. So all my programs are mapped back to early years learning framework, the PDHPE. I always trip up on that one.
I know we have this acronym over here, so it means sport. So it's the sport education.
Yeah. So the advanced course was like, well, how do I turn one lesson into a whole program? And then how do I turn that program? I actually have an annual syllabus. So I have 4 terms, and each program each class links into an overall riding intention for the program. And then the 4 programs also link together. So I've got an annual syllabus that I know that the children want to develop and they're going to grow. And then there was heaps more personal development too. So just boosting and boosting and boosting. Then onto the yoga therapy 1 and 2. And that really helped me on the technical side of things. Like yoga therapy was completely new to me. And it was great because in advance we touch on the yoga therapy, but when we go in to do the yoga therapy course, it's really good because you actually get into the detail of it. And that was massively empowering, because then after doing that, I could really help kids with additional needs. I could really tailor the classes for the children's needs. And I could use it on myself, and I could use it on my family. It was the technical bit. I think is the best way to do that. Then from there, mastery. And I won't say too much about mastery because it's super special. What I will say is that it polished me. It really took, my teaching to a completely different level. And if you haven't done it, do it. That's the big thing I say to people when they ask me about it. I'm like, just do it. Don't ask the question, just do it. And then the business leadership program really helped me. I'd been running my business for a couple of years at that point, and I really needed to get it onto the next stage. I was a bit stuck. And it was really good for helping me doing the business development. But also it was really good at helping me look after myself. And I think a trap that a lot of people fall into, especially when they're running a business that comes from a passion, is that you just go hard at it all the time. Like work. And it's so important, it's equally important, isn't it, that we're looking after ourselves and we're topping ourselves back up again, because you can't give if your tank's empty. So, that was, again, a really, really big takeaway for me. But I guess out of all of the courses, one thing that I've really enjoyed is how we connect with each other as teachers. The Zenergy community, you see the same people in the courses, you go through the same journey together. And I've got yoga teacher friends all over the country and overseas too, where I can talk to them. We can celebrate our wins together. We can laugh at the failures together, each other. Because it can be quite lonely when you're starting up business by yourself, and it's so important to have those connections with like-minded people.
Yeah. Oh, wow. There's so much in there that is so important. And if you are watching this and you've got your pen and your paper handy, there are so many gems in here. I love that you said, you can have that. Yes, you get trained up really well, but you can have the best product in the world, but there are pieces in there that are key. So working on your confidence, working on your personal development, working on your belief in yourself to make sure that you go out there and you do it in the first place. And then once you get out there, have a community, have support, have people who come in who can celebrate your wins, who can give you ideas, who you can brainstorm with. But also, Katie, you're just so beautiful, real and authentic to be able to, you just laugh at when you really step up, or you have the moments of failure, and you just, that community is key. Setting up a business, as you say, it can be very lonely on your own. And then the third part that I love is the part where you say the key to look after yourself, because yes, it's your purpose and maybe it's your passion and you go hard at this, but constantly looking after yourself and still making sure you're doing your yoga practice and taking time out for you and doing self-care and lovely things for yourself too. And I can see that you do that. You are a picture of glowing health and light and happiness and energy 5 years into teaching children's yoga with a business. So, all right. So how many classes a week do you, at your maximum, how many classes a week would you be teaching?
Well, at the moment, we're still recovering from COVID. So term one, it's still in the build phase. So I'm only probably about 14 or 15. But pre-COVID, it was 22.
Wow, 22 classes a week.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I mean, that's a success. That's high five.
Thank you.
Done, you. That's fantastic. I love that you built your annual programs. I love that you're putting that you've linked it all into curriculums and learning outcomes. That's fantastic. I love that you've got a syllabus now where you can just go to and say, okay, it's term one. What's the syllabus? You don't have to spend the hours and the time doing that as well. And I love, and a thank you from me, is that when people come through the Zenergy curriculum and come through new people into the community. I mean, you were talking about the community that you met as you went through your courses, but you are somebody who will bring them into the community and say hello to people. If anybody ever reaches out to you, you go, oh, hello, it's a Zenergy graduate. Hello. and I hear that you meet up with people and you get together with people, and so you're continually having this connection, this brainstorming and building this beautiful community of support with each other, which is essential now. Not competition, but collaboration and community.
Yeah, and it's how we raise the industry, we learn from each other. Everyone's very open. So the community of local teachers that we meet with on a regular basis, we're very open with each other. We'll talk about everything because there's a trust there. It's what we believe in, isn't it? So we'll help each other out and we look after each other. But also we've got a support network. If I can't teach a class, I know there's other people that I can ask who I trust, and I know that they can do a good job, and we can look after each other and keep each other's backs as much as anything, which keeps our businesses going as well.
And if they've been through the Zenergy curriculum or the Zenergy courses, they're going to have the same structure, the same template, have the same classroom management skills. So you'll have consistency if you need to bring somebody in.
Definitely. Yeah.
So if you were looking, and if somebody comes in and they are a brand new children's yoga teacher about to start off, or somebody's considering doing this, and they're new, or even if you were going to talk back to you, and if you were going to go back to Katie, who was sitting there thinking, oh God, I love this idea. I love yoga. I love children. Love to do this. What advice? Couple of things, 2 or 3 tips. What would you give them?
The first thing that I would say is to go and do the training. Really, really important, because that gives you the platform to launch from. But also I think when you come into something as a purpose or a passion, you can get really caught up in that energy, which is wonderful. But I think it's important just to take a step back and really have to think about what you want your business to do, in terms of what age group do you want to go to. And it might not, you may not necessarily be completely clear about that at that point, but it's a starting place. So which age group do you want to be working with? Where do you want to be working with them? Do you want your studio, or do you want to go into schools like we do? There's different business models. So where do you feel comfortable? And then from there to plan it, and have a bit of a roadmap. How am I going to get there? So for me personally, it was like, okay, I've got my idea. Now I need to go and get the skills. Now I need to set up the web page, the promotional material, and I need to get myself out there. So it might just be a simple 3-step like that. And this roadmap can change and it will evolve as you get more and more into it, but have an idea of where you want to go, because otherwise things will come up and you'll go round and round in circles. So start off with a plan, let that plan change, and kind of go on with it. And then the bottom line, the absolute bottom line, is just to get out there and do it. That's the thing that I talk to so many people, and maybe they've done the training, but they haven't started doing the marketing yet. And it's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Someone will say no. Big deal. You look at it, you learn from it, you move on. But every time you get a no, you're one step closer to a yes. So get out there and do it. And people buy into you. I mean, that's when my business started. That's how I got my first clients, because I was literally there in their face, energy, talking about this wonderful thing that I was going to do, and they bought into it. And that's how doors start to open when you're starting out. And then as you get more experience, you can rely on referrals and testimonials and things like that. But at the beginning, you just got to get out there.
I agree. I tell you my stories where I used to just hound them. I would call that school every term. Every term I'd call all schools and say, you need to have yoga in there, and so they just can't forget you because you're constantly there. Love, thank you. That was awesome. How can we find out, how can we watch you, how can we follow you? What's your Facebook page, your Instagram page?
Yes, my Instagram page is innerchildyoga.com.au, and also Facebook is exactly the same. I also have a Pinterest board where I've kind of just put stuff on, the idea being that anyone can jump on there and look at it and copy it or share it or do whatever, and that's on Pinterest, Inner Child Yoga. And then if you want to have a look at my webpage, it's innerchildyoga.com.au.
Awesome. So Inner Child Yoga, okay, consistently.
Yeah.
All right. So Katie, let's just wrap up. But my last question is, what, over the 5 years, is there a standout moment or a highlight moment that comes to mind? What would be your highlight moment or a standout moment of all those classes?
It doesn't tend to be one big thing. It's the little things. For me, it's always the little things. For me, it's when I have a child that's been with me for 2 years going through the early childhood program, and then they start kindy. And then mum will ring me and go, oh my God, she's using her finger breathing. She's turned up at kindy, she's really, really scared, she's been really nervous, but then she starts doing her finger breathing and it's all okay. And I'm like, oh. That's the bit for me that just makes me go, yes. But, that's when I'm having a hard day, that's what I think about. I'm like, making a difference.
I love that. You're making me tear with that. And yeah, I totally resonate. I think many people will resonate. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being you. Thank you for spreading all your beautiful energy and your joy out into the world, and for making such a difference to thousands of little lives. Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Loraine. Bye.
Bye.